Morning, everyone. Evening, night, or whatever daytime you're having at the moment. How have you been, people? Hi, Osrin. Welcome to Takeaway English class. Here's your teacher, Mary. I hope you're doing great and ready to level up your English today. Morning. Morning, Mono. Good morning, Osrin. I hope you're all doing great and had an amazing weekend and now ready to level up your English today. Let's just give a minute for more people to join and then we can start our today's lesson. So, just let me know if you can hear me clearly and see everything properly. And of course, don't forget to tap the screen. It helps bring more people into the live. Let's push this live out to other people. The more people join us, the longer we'll stay live. Plus, of course, it shows me your support and lets me know you're enjoying being here with me. Okay, so shall we get started? And I'm sure more people will join us as we go. To those people who are first-time listeners or who are just joining our live lessons, I've prepared 2 math course about phrasal verbs, about my absolute favorite topics in English. I also call them the puzzles of English. This course will probably end by the 25th of December, by the Christmas day. And we are going to cover the rules, structures, the word order and everything related to the phrasal verbs. I just mean, no, you're not late. Okay, so Before we dive into phrasal verbs from tomorrow, I'm going to start off with something essential that every English learner should know: the parts of speech in English. I always tell my students, no matter what grammar topic you're learning, if you don't know, if you don't understand the parts of speech and how English sentences are built, it's almost impossible to make sense of sentence structure, word order, or grammar rules. Parts of speech are the foundation of the language, and that's exactly where your learning should begin. So today we are going to learn each part of speech, and then we'll practice them with some exercises to make sure you really understand the basics of the English language. And when we move on to phrasal verbs, you'll see exactly why knowing the parts of speech is so important and how much easier it becomes to understand how phrasal verbs work in real sentences. And so stay up with me till the end of this live lesson, because then we're going to do some exercises at the end. So it's very important that you learn the rules during the lesson before we do the exercises. If you don't understand something, or if you're unsure about these words or structures and how to use them, feel free to ask. I'd be happy to help and explain them one more time. The aim is to give you a full understanding of the topic of these words, so I'm gonna repeat them over and over again. Thank you for the likes, and please don't forget to tap the screen, okay? So, parts of speech in English. Imagine the bricks that we use to build a house. Each brick plays an important role in the building process. Parts of speech are like the bricks of a language. To build a sentence and speak the language correctly, we need to use bricks, these parts of speech. They help us understand how words work together to create meaning and structure in sentences. As you can see from the picture above, English sentences are made with these parts of speech. Just like a house is made with bricks, each part plays a key role in building sentences and, in turn, helps us understand and use the English language correctly. So, what are these parts? Nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, articles, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. Traditionally, there are 8 parts of speech, and this is the most widely accepted classification in grammar books. However, there are also determiners and interjections. I've added interjections in this 18-page PDF. So if someone says there are 9, so they probably mean interjections or determiners. Today, we're going to learn 9 parts of speech. As I've said, I've added interjections. Just let me know if you can see everything properly. Okay, so let's start with the nouns. Nouns are words that name people, places, animals, things, or ideas. Can you please provide some examples of nouns in English in the comments? So, nouns are words that name people, places, animals, things, or ideas. Nouns are the most table, book. Well done, Jasmine. Yes, they are nouns. What about ideas? Could you please provide some examples of ideas as nouns? Like love is a noun as well, right? What else do we know? So they are the most important words in the sentence. Freedom, very well done. They tell us who or what we are talking about, right? Examples like Tom, dog, cat, Paris, London, book, car, girl, woman, man, love, hope, etc. Thoughts, they are nouns as well. Very well done. So, and to find a noun, happiness, very well done. Spot on. Happiness is a noun. So, to find a noun in a sentence, we ask questions who or what to see who or what the sentence is talking about. Now, let's take 2 nouns. Let's take Tom Let's take Tom and a house. Okay, we have two nouns here, right? Tom. Noun. Noun. We've got two nouns here. And we're going to build a sentence with using these two nouns. Okay, so we already know that nouns are the most important words in the sentence, as they tell us who or what we are talking about. Tom, this noun, is who is the sentence mainly about, right? And what is the house here? The receiver of the action, right? The sentence is mainly about Tom. Therefore, Tom is the subject of the sentence, whereas the house is receiver of the action, and say it's an object. However, both of them are nouns of the sentence. And answer the questions who or what, right? Okay, let's move on and build a sentence using these two nouns. Next comes a verb. What is a verb? Verbs are words that describe actions, something you do, or a state of being, how something or someone is. They tell us what the subject, what a noun, Tom is doing, or how something is. Every sentence needs a verb. When we talk about doing something, we need a verb. I run every morning. What do I do every morning? I run. Run is a verb. She eats breakfast at 8 a.m. What does she do at 8 a.m.? She eats breakfast at 8 a.m. They play football after school. What do they do after school? They play. He works in a bank. What does he do? He works. So work, play, eat, run, they are verbs. In each sentence, verbs tell us the action. Every sentence in English needs a verb, almost every sentence. It's the heart of the sentence. How to find the verb? We ask the question, what? What is the person doing? What happens? So remember, a verb is a word that tells us what someone does. It's one of the most important parts of English because verbs bring sentence to life. So now we have verbs. we can already build a sentence. Tom we have verb bought, that is a past tense of the verb buy. Tom bought a house. Nouns, verb. So in order to build a sentence in English, at least we need nouns and a verb. And the sentence is complete. Tom bought a house. Verbs can be in different tenses, like past, present, future, etc. Tom bought a house. Tom buys a house. Tom is buying a house. Tom has bought a house, and so on. Another example of verbs in English is, because we know that verbs are words that describe actions, something you do, or a state of being, how something or someone is. So, Tom works every day. Works is a verb. Tom is very happy. Is a verb. So verbs describe actions, something you do, or a state of being, how something or someone is. For example, Tom bought a house. Tom is very happy. Okay, everything's clear. Can you please provide some examples of verbs in English? Thank you. Thank you for the rose, Elias. Okay. Looking, studying. I'm studying English. I went to Germany last week, watching the TV. Very well done. Watching movie. Could you please provide some example sentences in the past simple tense? Past simple. using verbs in the past simple tense. I had breakfast. I washed my car. I went to the theatre at the weekend. Okay, Jasmine, if you say I washed my car, there's no need to add this week, okay? I washed my car, because if you add this week, then you should use present perfect. Okay? I washed my car yesterday, it's okay, but or last week. So I go to swimming yesterday. Okay, so is it correct? So I went, because we're talking about yesterday, right? I went. The past simple of go is went. I saw her in the mall. I bought ice cream yesterday. Very well done. Okay, so we know what are verbs in English, because if you are ready to learn phrasal verbs that our course about now, and this course will end by the 25th of December. It's a 2-month course. Okay, go and went, past simple of go, right? Oh, very well done. You've used phrasal verb, right? I ran into my old friend at the mall yesterday. Very well done. Great. Okay, is it clear? Go. Past simple is went. So I was saying that we have 2-month course related to phrasal verbs. So is it really important to know what are verbs in English? Right? Because without verbs, we cannot create phrasal verbs. Okay, so let's move on. And pronoun. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. Pronouns help us avoid repeating the same noun. For example, instead of saying Tom 2, 3, 4 times in a sentence, for example, Tom went to Tom's house, or Tom bought an expensive house and Tom went to Tom's house. it doesn't sound natural, right? Using Tom 3-4 times in a sentence. So pronouns help us avoid repeating the same noun over and over again. Some of the examples of pronouns are I, my, you, your, she, her, he, his, it, its, they, their, we, our, and so on. Okay, so pronouns help us avoid repeating the same noun over and over again. And instead of saying Tom bought an expensive house and Tom went to Tom's house, right? It isn't correct. So instead we can say, using noun only one time in a sentence, Tom bought an expensive house and he, pronoun, right? Instead of saying Tom, here I've used pronoun. He went to, and again, his. Instead of using Tom 3 times or 2 times, his, pronoun again, his house. Okay? Pronoun, pronoun. So again, pronouns help us avoid repeating the same noun 2 or 3 times in a sentence. Okay? Okay, let's move on. Adjectives. An adjective is a word that describes or gives more information about a noun. They provide details like color, size, shape, etc. Okay. So we already have Tom and a house, 2 nouns, and we have a verb buy, right? Buy, bought. And we can build a sentence, Tom bought a house. Now I want more information about the house. And now I can use adjective to add more information about the house. For example, Tom bought expensive is an adjective. So, Adjective is a word that describes or gives more information about a noun. They provide details like color, size, shape, and so on. Adjectives make nouns like people, animals, things more specific by adding details. For example, big, small, beautiful, many, expensive, and so on. Could you please provide some example sentences using adjectives that describe nouns? Note that adjectives describe only nouns. Another example, Tom bought a big house. Big is an adjective as well. Tom bought a new car. Adjective. Tom is wearing blue trousers. Adjective. So as you can see, adjectives describe only nouns. Tom has a beautiful house. Well done, Jasmine. Yeah, beautiful. So adjectives help us add some more information about the noun, like house or Tom, someone or something. And they answer the questions: what kind, which one, how many. So adjectives help us make a noun like Tom or house more specific by answering questions like what kind, which one, how many. Okay? And remember, adjectives describe nouns. Because now we're moving to the adverbs. And some of the students confuse adverbs and adjectives. Okay? So again, adjectives describe, add more information. They make nouns more specific. Nouns. Okay? Now let's move to the adverbs. An adverb is a word that describes or gives more information about a verb, adjective, or another adverb. Now you can see, while adjectives describe only nouns, adverbs describe verbs, such as, for example, he runs quickly. Here, quickly is an adverb. Why? Because it describes a verb. the verb run. So, an adverb is a word that describes or gives more information about a verb, adjective, or another adverb, but not nouns. It doesn't describe nouns, it describes verbs, adjectives, or another adverb. So, for example, Tom bought an expensive house and is happy. Here, happy is an adjective that describes Tom, noun, right? Now I want to know how happy Tom is. And here I can use an adverb that describes adjective happy. And is very happy. Here, very is an adverb that describes adjective happy. Okay? Very is an adverb. Quickly is an adverb. So, difference between adjectives and adverbs is that adjectives describe nouns. Expensive, house. House is a noun. Happy, Tom. Adverbs describe verbs. Runs quickly. Quickly describes a verb, the verb run. Describes adjective, happy. How happy Tom is, very happy, describes adjective. Again, quickly. So adverbs tell us how, when, or to what degree something happens. Quickly, slowly, very, soon, here, there, loudly, etc. They are all adverbs. Tom bought an expensive house and is very happy. Very happy. Very is an adverb. How happy is Tom? Tom is very happy. So, very is an adverb. Usually, adverbs and with the letters L and Y, li, for example, but of course there are some exceptions and not all the adverbs and with the letters li. Okay? So again, the difference between adjectives and adverbs is that adjectives describe nouns. Adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, and another adverbs. Okay? Thank you so much for the likes, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, let's move on. Article. An article is a word that comes before a noun, a person, place, thing, or idea. Articles help us understand whether we're talking about a specific noun, such as a person, thing, place, or idea, or a general noun. They help make the sentence clearer. Examples: a, an, the, there. For example, Tom bought an expensive house. The house is very big. I saw a new car. The car was red. Use a and an when talking about something that is mentioned for the first time, or when we are talking about one thing. For example, I've got an apple. I mean, I have one apple. Thank you, Mano, very much. Thank you, everyone, for tapping the screen. Appreciate it. So, note, use a, or an when talking about something that is mentioned for the first time. I saw a new car. I mentioned it for the first time. If I continue mentioning this car for the second time, then I use the article the or the. I saw a new car. The car was red. So use the or the when talking about something specific that both the speaker and the listener know. So use a or an when talking about something that is mentioned for the first time, or when we're talking about one thing. Use the or the when talking about something specific that both the speaker and the listener know. Okay, so Tom bought a new house. You already know that I'm talking about one house, okay? Not two or three, only one house, because I use a, article a. Tom bought a new house, and I mention it for the first time. However, if I continue talking about the house, then I use the article the. The house is very big. Okay? A for the first time, the if I continue talking about the house. Okay, let's move on to the prepositions. A preposition is a word that shows the relationship between a noun or pronoun and another word in the sentence. A preposition is a small word that shows relationship between two things in a sentence. It tells us where something is, like place, when something happens, like time, or how things are connected, like directions, positions, movements, and so on. Prepositions that describe place are in, on, under. Prepositions of place. For example, the book is on the table. Here I've used preposition of the place, on the table, right? Prepositions of time are at, in, on, time. I get up at 7 a.m. Here I've used preposition of time, at 7 a.m. And prepositions of movement, of directions. For example, to, from, out, etc. For example, he walked to the park. To find prepositions in a sentence, just ask the questions where, when, so on. The prepositions always connect the verb or noun to something else and show the relationship between them. For example, Tom is in the house. For example, Tom is in the house. Where? In the house. Preposition of the place. Tom went to the supermarket. Where to the supermarket. Preposition of the movement or direction. Okay. Tom when? Yesterday. Yesterday at Tom bought a house I don't know, at 7 a.m., for example, or p.m. When yesterday, when at 7 p.m. at preposition of time. Okay? Tom bought an expensive house on the main street. Where? On the main street. Preposition of the place. Okay? Conjunctions. A conjunction is a word that connects words, phrases, or clauses together in a sentence to make our speech natural. Conjunctions help join different parts of a sentence. They make the sentence easier to understand by connecting words or ideas together. Some of the examples are and, but, or, so, yet, and so on. Okay, so for example, Tom bought an expensive house. Now I want to add something else to the sentence to make it clearer and natural. I need to use a conjunction. Tom bought an expensive house and is very happy. Without conjunctions, our speech doesn't sound natural. For example, without and. If I skip and, conjunction and say, Tom bought an expensive house. Tom is very happy. Tom bought an expensive house. Tom bought an expensive house on the main street. Right? So we need to use conjunctions to connect words, phrases, or clauses together in a sentence. Therefore, we use and, but, or, so, yet, and so on. However, there are two main types of conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions, you don't need to know all of that. However, they join equal parts of a sentence. For example, and, but, or, so, yet. And subordinated conjunctions, they join the big part of the sentence with the small parts. Examples: because, if, since, etc. The last one is interjection. My favorite one is an interjection. An interjection is a word or phrase that expresses a strong feeling or reaction. For example, wow, ouch, phew, and so on. Interjections help show how someone feels in a sentence. They are usually short words and come by themselves. For example, wow, Tom bought an expensive house. They usually come at the beginning of the sentence because it wouldn't be natural if I say, Tom bought an expensive house. Wow. Right? So they usually come at the beginning of the sentence. Or, oh, Tom bought an expensive house. Or, Tom bought an expensive house. Okay? So, we are going to do some exercises. Before that, just have a look at all of the parts of speech. I'm going to take a 2 minutes break and yeah, I'll be back in no time. Just 2 minutes break. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of what we've learned so far. Noun, describe place, people, animals, things, ideas. Pronoun, replaces nouns. Verb, actions, states. Adjective, describes nouns and pronouns. Adverb, describes verbs, adjectives and other adverbs. Article, modifies or specifies a noun. Preposition, links nouns to other words. Conjunction, joins words and phrases. Interjection, shows strong feelings and emotions. Okay. Okay. Read the sentences, then find and check the parts of speech. Tom bought an expensive house. Here, bought is a verb. Number 2, he bought an expensive house. He. Which part of speech is he? Does anyone know? He bought an expensive house. Thank you for the likes. Pronoun, excellent, Osrin. It's a pronoun. It replaces the noun, right? Number 3, my son has a beautiful car. Which part of speech is beautiful? Someone said adjective. Adjective. Very well done. It's an adjective. It describes the noun car, right? Beautiful car. Number 4, he's very happy. He's very happy. Very. Which part of speech is very? Adverb. Excellent. It's an adverb. Why? Because it describes the adjective happy. Number 5, the dog sleeps under the bed. Which part of speech is under? Preposition. Excellent. It's a preposition. Is it a preposition of direction, time, or place? Place. Excellent. Number 6. My brother runs quickly. Runs quickly. My brother runs quickly. It's an adverb. Very well done. It's an adverb. Number 7. Anne is my sister. Anne. Which part of speech is Anne? Why is it adverb? Because it describes run, verb. Right? We already know that adverbs describe verbs, describe adjectives or other adverbs. Yes, run is a verb, right? So here, quickly describes verb run. I don't get it. My brother runs quickly. Is it clear? Okay. So Anne is my sister. Which part of speech is Anne here? It's a noun. Anne. Number 8. I like Anne, but she doesn't like me. But. Which part of speech is but? Conjunction. Very well done. Number 9. Wow, you look beautiful. Wow. Which part of speech is wow? Interjection. Excellent. It's an interjection. Number 11. The flowers bloom in the garden. Flowers bloom in the garden. Bloom. What about number 9? We did it. It's an interjection. Share the correction. Okay, you mean bloom is an adjective. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're right, Osrin. It's conjunction. Why I skipped number 10? Sorry, it's conjunction, yes, and, right? Okay, so number 11, the flowers bloom in the garden. Someone said noun, adjective, adverb. Adverb. Okay. Osrin, what do you think? Yeah, great. It's a verb. Very well done. It's a verb. Why? What are flowers doing? They are blooming. It's a verb. The flowers bloom in the garden. Okay? It's a verb. Number 12. Tom and Anne go to school every day. Tom and Anne go to school every day. Which part of speech are Tom and Anne here? Nouns. They are nouns. Very well done. Number 13. The phone is in the bag. It's a preposition. It's a preposition of place, direction, or time. Place. Great. Where is the bag? It's the phone. It's in the bag. Okay, let's move on. Exercise 4. Read the sentences below and circle adjectives and square adverbs. Okay, again, adjectives describe and give us more information about what? Does anyone know? Okay, so adjectives describe nouns. Well done, Jasmine. Yes, and pronouns, right? What are pronouns? Pronouns are the words that replace nouns to avoid repeating nouns 3 to 5 times in a sentence, right? Pronouns are like I, me, she, he, they, them, and so on. Okay, so circle adjectives and square adverbs. Tom bought an expensive house and is very happy. Here, expensive describes noun house, and adverb very describes adjective happy. Okay. Number 2. They arrived early at the new restaurant. Let's find an adverb and an adjective. Early adverb. Okay, we should square adverbs, right. What about adjective? Is there an adjective in the sentence? New, yeah, great. New is an adjective. I got it. She looked at the beautiful painting carefully. She looked at the beautiful painting carefully. Let's find an adjective and an adverb. Beautiful is an adjective. What about an adverb? Carefully is an adverb. Why? Because it describes the verb looked carefully. Okay, number 4, it should be a square, right? Okay. Number 4, the sun shines warmly every morning. Excellent. Every adjective warmly, adverb. Number 5, he speaks loudly during the important meeting. He speaks loudly during the important meeting. He speaks loudly during the important meeting. Loudly, adverb. What about adjective? Is there an adjective in the sentence? Yeah, important. Number 6, the old car stopped suddenly in the middle of the road. The old car stopped suddenly in the middle of the road. Suddenly. What about the adjective? Is there an adjective in the sentence? Old. Spot on. Old. Number 7. The big dog ran quickly across the green field. Quickly, adverb. Big, adjective. Big and green, very well done. So we've got 2 adjectives and an adverb. Number 8, the small dog barked loudly at the passing car. Let's see. Small adjective. Okay. What else? Okay, loudly, but is it an adverb or adjective? An adverb. There is another adjective in the sentence. Jasmine, barked is a verb. What the dog is doing. Yeah, great. Passing. It's an adjective here. Passing car. It describes the noun car, right? Noun car. Whereas barked is a verb, right? It describes the action, what the dog is doing. Okay. Number 9. The green apple tastes sweet. Green is an adjective, but what about sweet? Jasmine, yeah, it's an adjective, Jasmine. I thought you said sweet. Very well done. Someone said green and sweet are adjectives. Excellent. Why? Because here, sweet, even if it's followed the verb taste, it describes apple, not the taste. Okay? For example, run, if we say run quickly, it describes run, the verb run. However, here, sweet describes the apple, not the verb. So they are both green and sweet adjectives. Very well done. Number 10. They speak fluently in 3 different languages. Can you move the... Sure. Fluently, adverb, yeah. Is there an adjective in the sentence? Different. It should be the square. Meaning not the same, right? Well done, Australian. Well done, Jasmine. Yeah, different, not the same. That describes known languages. Okay. Number 11. The young boy smiled brightly at the happy dog. The young boy smiled brightly at the happy dog. Young, adjective. Brightly, adverb. And happy, adjective. Very well done. Okay, before we move to the next exercise, let's make a quick recap and see what we've learned today. So we've got nouns that describe people, place, animals, things, ideas. Okay? Here, Tom bought an expensive house. Tom and the house are nouns. Pronoun replaces nouns. They help us avoiding repetition in the sentence. For example, instead of saying Tom bought an expensive house and Tom went to Tom's house, we say Tom bought an expensive house and he, pronoun, went to his, pronoun, house. Okay? So pronouns replace nouns. He bought an expensive house. He is a pronoun. Verb. Verbs describe actions or states. For example, Tom bought an expensive house. Bought is a noun. Is a verb, sorry. Adjective describes nouns and pronouns. Okay? Only nouns and pronouns, not verbs, not adjectives, not other adverbs. Only nouns and pronouns. We already know. Nouns are Tom, house. Pronouns are he, she, it, that replace nouns. Okay, adverbs. Adverb describes verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. For example, Tom bought an expensive house and is very happy. Here, very describes adjective happy. Article modifies or specifies a noun. Tom bought an expensive house. An is an article. We've got articles like a, an, or the, right? Preposition links nouns to other words. Tom bought an expensive house on the main street. Where? On the main street. Here, on is a preposition of place. Conjunction joins words and phrases. Tom bought an expensive house and is very happy. So conjunctions. Conjunctions join words and phrases together. Traditionally, there are only 8 parts of speech. However, I've added interjection that shows strong feelings and emotions. For example, wow, Tom bought an expensive house. Here, wow shows strong feeling and emotions. Okay? Exercise number 5. Drag the words into the correct box. Let's start with the nouns. Just let me know if you can see everything properly. Taxi, well done, Osrin. Okay, someone said they. This is a pronoun, right? That replaces nouns to avoid repetition in a sentence. Okay. London. TikTok. Message. iPhone. Let's just okay, Yahoo, it's more of, it expresses strong feeling or emotion. Okay, now let's do pronouns. What are pronouns? You. Great. Osrin, Jasmine, Jazz, they. Yeah, you're right. Just so they, you, we, she. It's great. Okay, now do interjections. Oh, great. Yoo-hoo. Excellent. Ouch. Wow. What else? Okay, that's it. There is few. Oh, thank you. Well done. Okay, now let's do conjunctions. Well done, Jasmine, but where is but? And great, and at. They are during and along, they are prepositions. We're doing conjunctions. What are conjunctions? That join two words or phrases or clauses together, right? However, through long, they are prepositions because because and where is and? And but because, yeah, what else? Or, well done. What about if? Okay. And finally, prepositions. At. Great. During. Along. Over. Through. Okay, that's it, I guess. Along. Okay. And finally, the last Last exercise for today is select the correct answer for the underlined words. Sentence number 1. Tom bought an expensive house and is very happy. Adverb. Number 2. I got up early in the morning and went to school. Got, verb. Went, verb. Right. Number 3. The sun was shining outside. The sun was shining outside. Article. Number 4. The sun was shining outside and the birds were singing. Articles. Articles. Well done, Australian. Articles. Phew. We finally finished the project after hours of work. Let's say phew. What is it? It's an interjection. I didn't call you because I was busy with my homework. Phew is an interjection that shows strong feelings and emotions, right? Such as wow, oh, etc. They are interjections. Okay, because conjunction, well done. Number 7. I listened to the teacher, but I didn't understand anything. Conjunction. And the last one, conjunction. We waited for them for 2 hours, but they didn't arrive. Oh, there's missing words. Pronoun. Yeah, they are pronouns. Okay, before wrapping up, I've got 3 words for you, and let's see if you understood the lesson. Okay? Number 1. Oh, thank you for the heart, May. Appreciate it. Question number 1. I'll show you the word and you should tell me which part of speech it is. Take. Which part of speech? Well done, Osrin. Okay. Number 2. Thank you very much. Number 2. English. Noun. Well done. Okay. And number 3. Away. Away. Jasmine, well, with prepositions, sometimes they can be adverbs, but when talking about parts of speech, in general, they are okay. Just oh yeah, the away is a preposition. Okay. Very well done. We've got takeaway English here. Okay, so hope the lesson was helpful and useful for you, because this topic is foundation of the language, and you will see how helpful they are when learning phrasal verbs in English. That's what we're going to do and learn from tomorrow. Okay? Phrasal verbs. Grammar behind phrasal verbs. The logic behind phrasal verbs. We are going to start from the beginning, step by step, and learn everything related to the phrasal verbs from A2 to B1 and B2. You're very welcome, Osray. Thank you for joining. You're welcome, Jasmine. Thank you for joining. I go on live every day from Monday to Friday from 10:30. So Okay? You're very welcome. So, from tomorrow, we're going to start with phrasal verbs, step by step. Let me see. Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining. Thank you, guys. Have an amazing rest of the day. It was lovely being here with you, and see you tomorrow at 10:30. Okay, have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.